So, and with all those banana peels, you're gonna make Derek's favorite concoction. You're gonna make some banana
Make some
water.
banana water.
Oh my God! Please don't do that.
He said, lotion up them knuckles. He said, well, my knuckles are actually pretty decent. Actually pretty decent.
Please don't do that. No, this is really working for me.
Nothing's working?
Nothing working.
All right, well, tonight, guys, we want to talk to you guys. And, you know, with everything going on in the world right now, you know, inflation's high, things are tight. We want to talk about ways that we can sort of make ends meet and sort of incorporate food gardening into that process. You know, so I always tell people, you know, when you start gardening, like you're not going to necessarily save money by growing. Like that should not be the number one objective when you start a garden, because you're probably, when you add up all your costs, you're not going to make money in the first year, and then you're not going to the second year, maybe the third year, maybe you might never actually make money. What you're going to make is some really good fresh food, and maybe try some varieties you might have a chance to try ever again or without gardening. But what are your guys' thoughts on gardening and making ends meet in general?
Well, you know, it's funny you mentioned that because I jumped onto this topic maybe about a month ago, saying that, you know, gardening won't replace your grocery bill. And, you know, I explained it all in the video, but a lot of people just, I guess, didn't see the forest for the trees. They were like, oh, no. You can grow enough to sustain your family for the entire year, you know, eat seasonal and so forth. I'm like, not realistically. I mean, because let's face it, in the United States of America, we've grown very complacent with options. And options are nice. I like having options. You know, I live in Texas. I love to eat salmon. If I don't live where salmon live, and I don't, you know, if they're not at the grocery store, where else am I going to get salmon? You know what I mean? So yes, while you can grow to, you know, add some fresh produce, add some fresh vegetables and strawberries, don't think that gardening is going to be your end all be all. But I mean, it is still a great start. And yes, you will face some upfront capital, but there's ways you can minimize that for sure.
And we're going to talk about a lot of those ways, right?
Mm-hmm. And of course, if you have options in the comments, let us know. What are your suggestions as far as trying to garden on a budget?
Yeah, that's kind of what we're doing today, gardening on a budget. Derek, what are your opinions?
You know, I ain't always had money. My money's really funny, up and down, you know, and not funny, more like funny. But when it comes to doing the plants, because I've worked in the field, I've often found it to be super cheap for me because I had access to soil that I could get for free because I work in several greenhouses. So I could pot up a couple of plants. People would give me seeds. I could take a bunch of pots. These pots may have some dicks or dings in them. I've helped in this state, and this isn't a toot my own horn, to literally give away like tons, like metric tons of plastic pots and trays to cooperative extension. So much soil to help start community gardens, right? So it's literally been different for me. But with that being said, I say connect with people because you never know what somebody has. A friend of mine just gave me bags of soil, okay? A whole several bags of these soil. This is peat. I got for free $99. 9 of these. 9 of these. And they're free and they're mine. So I say connect with people because you never know. Somebody might have spare pots they were going to throw away. Take them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just want to say I'm glad you said that. Community matters so much, especially when you're growing. You know, it's great to have a friend that grows. I mean, granted, I got 2 friends here, my brothers, Andre and Derek, but we live in completely different areas, different states, different zones. But I got a buddy that lives a couple of blocks from me, and I love it because he is that overzealous, excited gardener, wanting to grow all these crazy things that don't grow in our zone, or he'll get excited about something and then has never tasted it, like a calamundan. And he tastes like, ooh, I don't like this. Here, you want this tree? I'm like, yes, thank you. I'll take this free tree and put in my yard. Appreciate you.
I would give you that kind of tree too. But you know, but you're right. Community is so huge and people overlook this. I always tell people, like one of the greatest skills or talents that somebody can have is likability. If people like you, amazed what you could get in this world. And one of the great places, and I know a lot of people are like anti-Meta or anti-Facebook or whatever, but Facebook groups, if you want to find people locally that have the same interests as you and are growing under the same conditions as you, Facebook groups are one of the best places that you can go. Like you can find people in your neighborhood, people in your zone, or let's say you go dragon fruit. You can join a dragon fruit club and learn all about dragon fruit. And that's where you get free stuff. And nothing's better than free stuff. That puts you ahead of the game right there. I have gotten so much free stuff through social media from not just from like companies that want to market it or whatever, but just from friends. It's from people that have become friends. And I have given away so much free stuff. Like anyone that comes to my garden leaves here with probably $100 worth of plants and cuttings every single time.
Wow.
Yeah, because didn't you just give away some star fruit?
Yeah, give away star fruit, give away all kinds of things. If you come to my house this time of year, you're always going to get star fruit. You might get some dragon. You might get some bananas. You're going to get something. You're going to get plants. You're going to get lots of plants. Because cuttings cost nothing to give. But if you go to the ministry and try to buy cuttings of longevity spread or whatever, you're paying $10 a piece for most of those.
And I think there's something to really say, like, cuttings really cost nothing. Like, for me to take it's just my time and effort, but for me to really take that chance and to make a cutting on my plant and to be able to give that away to people. It's really a beautiful thing. And I think with all of us who are able to have these things, whether it's house plants or not, we ought to be able to give away any of these cuttings we have, like pothos or anything like that, your ZZs that take a while. You give away all these fruit trees because Andre has about 5,500 acres. But when you are doing all of this, you should definitely be able to keep your retain on hand, because this is something that you need. Because what's the purpose of giving away a plant to the people if your plant gets sickly because you ain't taking care of your tools, your shears and stuff? It cleans, it lubricates, it stops rust, and it sanitizes, and it's made with oregano oil, right? So be sure you check this out. You can get it on retainsspray.com, amazon.com, and walmart.com. I want all of you to put Retain in the comments so they know we are here with them today. Get you some Retain. You can keep going. I just had to do that quick place.
Right. Now, Retain, I would have mine, but I've been doing a lot of grafting in the garden. And Retain is something I spray on my tools so that I don't get any infections contaminate the plants. And Retain is great for that. And it increases the success rate of grafts as well. Someone was asking me, I'm in Florida, raised in Texas, and what is there in South Carolina.
North Carolina, come on, raise up. I was doing the show around my head like a helicopter. Petey Pablo.
What was that thing?
You take your shirt off, we can run your head like a helicopter, Petey Pablo? This one's from North Carolina. You don't know that one? It's okay. Y'all, one day when I meet Andre, I'm going to kidnap him and force him to eat catfish, watermelon, and we're going to play. We're going to play more of that Petey Pablo's greatest hits. And Petey Pablo and the man I'm trying to think of, who, he has a lot of great hits. Mark Morrison, Return of the Mac. We're just going to play them back to back because there's so many great hits. But the one great hit you would never think I would play from Mark Morrison would be Return of the Mac. We're going to play that and the Petey Pablo all day. Please do. Please do.
Pablo. Do some homework. There you go. Petey Pablo.
He might as well have been like the congressman of North Carolina in the 2000s. It's okay. You look it up.
All right. Someone asked, how do we control ants? Due to growing. Well, I think it depends on what kind of ants you have. I think a lot of ants don't really need controlling. There are some ants that need controlling.
Exactamundo. The fire ants, I would go and look at the big box stores and garden centers, and I would be sure to get a granular pesticide, right? But I don't have children, and I don't have animals, so I don't have anything to worry about.
Now, if it's in your raised beds, you might not have something that's you might not use a pesticide, but diatomaceous earth, great diatomaceous earth, you can sort of take a shovel and kind of stir up that nest and just dust it with some diatomaceous earth. Now, whenever I make a video about diatomaceous earth, there's always going to be somebody that says, but it kills butterflies and bees and blah, 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 blah. Well, I think all the butterflies and bees that live in a fire ant nest are already dead.
It's a Pixar movie, Andre. You just haven't seen it yet because all the ants. It was called A Bug's Life, and the ants was living with the butterflies and the spiders, and that's what it is. Gray, you seen that one, didn't you?
But now she said that they're actually
all over the place. That's one thing. But if you dump it on the ground on a fire ant nest, I don't think there's going to be a ton of incidental, what's the word, casualties or whatever.
Yeah, collateral damage.
Now, also, the other time that I get land is when they are farming aphids or scale. They are farming aphids or scale on your tree. You have to get rid of the ants, because once you do that, then the predator will come and get rid of the scale on the aphid on the cones. And that I usually use like terrible adhesive barrier around the trunk of the tree so the ants can't get up and down the tree, and that's the problem.
Yeah, but now she said that there are black ants, and if they're not doing any of those things, if they're not harming aphids, and if they're not fire ants, and they're not really causing any problem, they're actually good to have in your raised bed or garden because they will break down organic matter and leaf matter too.
Yeah, and unless some people do go through anaphylaxis, so if you're afraid, then definitely do those things. And I know a couple of home remedies. People will often suggest grits. I can't really see comments anymore, but people may suggest grits sometimes.
Uncooked instant grits.
So I've heard the uncooked don't work. I've heard that the regular do work and don't work. But for whoever uses it, whenever you put a grit in there, for some reason the ants don't like it. I've heard both work. I've not used. Actually, I have used them personally, and it was uncooked, regular like original grits.
Borax and sugar works as well too.
Oh yeah, they do.
You can actually make a slurry out of the sugar and borax and a little bit of water in a cap. That will work as well because they'll be attracted to the sugar. They'll take the borax back to the mound and KO the whole mound. But I want to know who's talking about Anthony Hamilton. What about Anthony Hamilton? I love some Anthony Hamilton. Is he from North Carolina too?
I don't know. Charlene might be, but I think it was probably because he was trying to get rid of ants. Anthony Hamilton. You know what I'm talking about?
Anthony, I got you there. Anthony. I'm picking up what you put down. I like that.
So wait a minute. So King the Craft said, Andre not knowing Petey Pablo feels so on brand for him.
He does. Oh, he's from Charlotte.
What song does he sing?
This one's from North Carolina. Come on and raise up. Take your shirt off. You don't know that one?
Raise around your hair like a helicopter.
Never heard that in my room.
That was like his main hit.
That's his best hit?
That
yeah, it was like in the early 2000s.
All right.
I mean, he's no Anthony Hamilton. You know, we could talk about Charlene coming from where I'm from, you know. We've gone down a rabbit hole.
I don't know. You some people are odd collection.
Now, with that being said, we were going to tell you about some crops too and things that you can grow that if you really are trying to grow on a budget. I'm going to give you one of my favorites to grow, and that is lettuce. And we're talking about like our loose leaf lettuce. Like this is Freckles lettuce. This is one of my favorite lettuce. Let me show everybody. This is one of my favorite lettuce. It has freckles on it. It has a sweet taste to it. But the reason why I say lettuce is because this doesn't take up a lot of space, right? So you can grow these in containers. And our friend who was saying they're up in Wisconsin and can't grow anything right now because it's snowing and it's winter, you can grow these in a windowsill. You can easily put these in a windowsill and you can grow them. And the cool thing about them, in about 30 days, you can have baby greens. In about 45 days, you'll have a full set of greens. If you succession plant them, meaning plant them out every 2 weeks, you can keep that crop rolling. So this is an easy one to make some quick return on your investment. And you don't have to put a lot of money into it. Don't need a lot of space or soil. Lettuce is a winner for me.
And you can grow lettuce hydroponically easily too. And there are some relatively inexpensive ways that you can set up a hydroponics. You can Google them online or look on YouTube, and that's a way that you can kind of have salads at least for most of the year.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a great one. And the other thing a lot of people don't do is and even in terms of selecting food, like a lot of times people look down on canned foods, frozen foods, like frozen vegetables and canned vegetables. And canned and frozen vegetables can be just as nutritious as fresh vegetables that you grow yourself. Most of those things are flash frozen immediately after harvest, and there's no nutrients or no loss of significant nutrients. And a lot of times people think that if something's not the best thing that it can be, that it's automatically bad. So, for a lot of people, frozen canned vegetables are way better than having no vegetables at all.
You know, I got to tell you about frozen vegetables. Okay, got time for a quick story?
Yeah, sure.
So, when I met my wife, I was, we were dating, and I was coming over to her house for the first time. It was a cookout, and I was like, yeah, what can I bring? She was like, oh, can you bring some vegetables over for sides? I was like, okay, bet. She was like, oh, but make sure that they're frozen vegetables. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I had been in the Army. I lived all over the United States. I didn't know that vegetables were frozen. I had only seen them either fresh or in a can form. I'm like, okay, I will make sure to get the frozen ones. I'm like, let me go in the store. What are frozen vegetables at, y'all? Because I did not know. So she upgraded me. I haven't had a canned vegetable since I met my wife, because she was like, no, we do frozen here. So, okay. Because that 59-cent can will work for me.
Well, yeah. It's amazing that people just don't even consider it something. It's perfectly fine. Someone else, what soil makes for growing indoor herbs?
I would use something that is quick draining, personally, because even though herbs want to drink a lot of liquid, unless there is like dry in your home, you're gonna have to like balance out your watering. So you would have to like with any mix you use in general, and you're doing like herbs indoors, you have to make sure you're not like over watering for sure, and so you're not like setting up a situation with mold, but you're not under watering. So typically, I would say like a looser mix, or like a vermiculite or perlite to kind of loosen it up. And if you do just get like a regular garden mix, just be careful, super careful to
make sure you're not like keeping your soil god awful saturated like you would outside.
Well, I'm gonna disagree with you. Don't use a garden mix. I'm gonna say don't use a garden mix, because a garden mix is gonna have a lot of wood material in it, because it's meant to break down over time. If we're doing it inside and doors, you want something that's going to be a looser potting type of mix, something of that. Yeah.
What do you think about like a seedling mix?
I mean, that would work, because a seedling mix would
like either peat or core, pretty much. It would be mostly like light and fluffy.
I feel like seedling mixes are very light and fluffy. I'm not sure how they drain though.
They do, because if you water, because a seedling mix, you shouldn't have to water that often anyway, because you're just getting it saturated, waiting. Once the top couple of inches dry up, you do it again, and in a week or two, the plants are off. So you're not really even like doing a long haul, like wetting for them, waiting until you get your seedlings up and then potentially transplant. But yeah, either or.
Yeah, I would say though, if we're going to use a seedling mix, once you get some substantial growth, once you get past the seeding stage, you actually might have to put in a little bit of fertilizer, because most of your seedling mixes, not most, all of your seedling mixes are going to be inert. So they're not going to have any fertilizers or anything like that in there, because they're just meant for that germination stage. So you are going to have to amend it. And one of the things you could amend it with is one of my favorite amendments, and that's going to be Thryve Roots. This is actually one of my sponsors, guys. This is our sponsor for a show, Thryve Roots. This is their citrus blend. I grow a lot of citrus out here. I have lemons, page mandarin oranges, blood oranges, and this is a soil amendment and root booster. This actually gives you access to the NPK, those macronutrients that are already present in your soil. Thryve Roots, and that's available on thryveroots.com.
And remember,
with a Y. So THRYVE Roots.
Now, some other question: is there anything to prevent neighbors' cats from using your yard as a personal bathroom?
Yes, you get a pistol.
Okay, I'm actually dealing with this problem right now, and if you don't want to euthanize the cat, I will say I haven't used the product yet because basically I have to let you guys know something. Gardener to gardener, okay? So my wife is in charge of the budget because she has to tell me weekly how much I can spend because if not, I'm gonna be going by fruit trees like every single week. And so she has to let me know my mortgage will get paid. So my wife has to give me a budget. And there's a product that I want to get. It's a motion sensor sprinkler that will come on and like sniper rifle hit anything that comes into the garden. And it's about 40-50 bucks. It plugs right into your spigot and it's solar operated. That's the thing that I'm going to go with. So I'm going to try to do it in a most friendly way possible to get this cat from using my strawberries as a litter box.
Okay, let me ask a question. Like, what is so bad about a cat pooping in your garden?
It's not bad.
It depends
Well, I mean,
so if you're growing like food crops, then you don't want like feces in here. Like this is how we get outbreaks and like recalls of vegetables and stuff because feces typically like something that can't really be treated, or like human feces get into the food, and then you get like salmonella, E. coli, all of that in your greens and your onions and your vegetables, and then they gotta be like, don't buy all of this. Like when you have them just pooping all over your stuff, that shifts how you have to really like take care of your food.
You think it's going to be that volume of cat poop from a cat? I feel like I need cats in my backyard because right now I've got squirrels, and I would much rather have cats than squirrels.
Really, I would rather have neither because, again, we said earlier, pistol, right? But it depends. Like if you're growing a bunch of greens and a cat over time, right? If there's cats in your neighborhood every day, back home from the coast where I am, my mom's yard has like 10 cats at any given time. 10. That's a lot of cats. So she's not growing any food. But that's a lot of cat poop. Even if you just have one cat, morning, noon, and night, pooping in your greens, that's a lot. You know what I mean? So, but I would typically tell people like to use like a garlic powder, because while you could use black to try to like get the smell and to like try to shoot them away. And while I have heard great results people have had with black pepper and cayenne pepper, you don't want to hurt the animal. And you don't want to like really tear them up like that. If it was a squirrel, even then, I still wouldn't want to really hurt them. So you just gotta make a pinch. That's really what I would suggest to people, like an actual structure.
Well, and I will say this. I mean, the feces is one problem in itself, but the problem that I'm running into is actually the urine, because cat urine is highly acidic, and it stinks all to be damned too. But it's highly acidic. And they have went potty in one of my strawberry beds, which strawberries like a slightly acidic soil of about a 6.0, right? But after this cat pee, they completely destroyed the strawberries because it was just too acidic of a urine. And then plus, cats like to bury whatever they're doing. So if they're doing one or doing number two, they're going to tear up the garden because they're going to try to bury it in there too.
Okay. I guess so.
Yep. See, somebody just said. Jen said, yeah, plus cats try to dig up and cover up their poop. Yep.
All right. I want to ask for tips on a Florida peach tree here in Orlando. I guess I would be the one to help you with that. I feel like peach trees take a little while to establish here. Once they're established, they seem to be fine. You have to get the varieties that have low chill hours because we don't have enough chill hours for most types of peaches. There are some like the Florida Prince. There's a few other varieties that are like unique to Florida or developed for Florida. And those are probably the best varieties to use. But I found that it just takes time for the trees to mature. But once they're mature, it is pretty decent. As long as they're getting full sun, they can be productive here.
Hey, what's your nursery called? Is it A Natural Farms?
It's not my nursery, but I do visit a natural farm fairly regularly. They are not a sponsor of the show yet, so they will be unnamed.
Okay, got it.
We love to see it.
Well, the reason why I was mentioning it though is because a local nursery would probably have varieties that do well in your specific zone, as opposed to going to like a big box store. Because I'm not against big box stores, but big box stores are going to basically sell you whatever they have. A nursery is going to have something that actually works well in your zone. Because like Andre is saying, if you try to grow like a Georgia peach or something down there, you might have difficulty because they require more chill hours.
And for the most part, the big boxes will have a lot of local stuff, but sometimes they'll have things that are just sort of, selling this all over the country.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mix, because they're not going to necessarily tell you, like, these are local and these are just what we got. You just put anything in there and you buy it and I'll take your money.
Yeah. Plus, they won't be knowledgeable, too. And that knowledge makes the difference. I mean, you go to a nurse and you ask them, hey, what do I need to do to grow this plant? And they can read you off like the whole entire Texas Master Gardener handbook, So they're knowledgeable.
So Melvin says, get a mechanical cats for your garden. Yes, I'm gonna spend a couple $1,000 on robot cats.
You don't want a robot out in your garden helping you out?
And now the other thing is, a lot of times we can grow leftover food stuff that we have. Everybody knows about the green onion. And that's a way to cut down on the food bills as well too, is to recycle the things that you are growing. And I've done it with the green onions. I've done it with celery. Another one you can regrow celery bottoms.
Cabbage is another one I've done for too.
Bok choy. I know bok choy goes back super fast. You can plant a bok choy bottom in the ground and shoot another bok choy.
Yeah, so that's a great way of being able to recycle too. So if you're growing from seed, cool, growing in your windowsill. And then if you're recycling those root stems off of those plants, peppers is another one that you can just stick those seeds in the ground and grow them indoors right now because it's a little cold. But if you're in maybe the southern hemisphere, maybe you can start growing them right now. But look, we got all kinds of suggestions coming through here. Ginger.
Ginger's great. You can grow ginger in containers. And you can grow it just from a piece of ginger that you got from the supermarket. Sometimes you see ginger in the pantry and it starts to sprout a little bit. You're halfway there, right there. Just break off the sprout, stick it in the ground, stick it in the pot, and you're good. You're on a windowsill and you're good.
I actually did that with my ginger, and my ginger is about 3 feet tall right now. It's just living its best life.
Ooh, when did you plant it?
This was funny. I think I actually planted it like around February.
Okay.
What I ended up doing was February. Yeah, that was this year. Yeah, before I came down there for PlantCon, I planted it, but it was in my greenhouse though. So I will say that the caveat, it was planted inside my greenhouse. So that was a controlled temperature.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. In a container.
That's the point. You grow it inside. Right? You put it in your house. And they don't even need a lot of light. They can just be like beside the window on the floor. Like they don't need full sun to grow at all. That's a great one. My next product is onion tops. Onion tops are great too. You definitely get green onions out of it. I don't know if you're going to get a onion back.
No.
Actually, I've done it. I've done not in tops, but like bottoms of onions. I've actually done some bulbs. Had I actually watered them that year, I've gone through a depression from losing a job. I probably would have had whole onions, but all I had was like tiny onions.
Wait, so you use the bottom of the onion, the root part of the onion.
So I do a lot of kitchen scrap gardening. I do like tons of kitchen scrap gardening.
So I haven't pasted this. So I would take them, root them up, and then it would take a while. It takes a hand sanitizer a year or so and more. But I would end up getting these onions that I would then pull out and there would be a cluster of them. But I wasn't like giving them what they needed. So they didn't really give me a good harvest in return. But it is possible.
That's interesting. I'd love to try an onion bottom.
Yeah, you can literally with some bulbs. I can't remember the term, but there's some bulbs. There's a technique you can do with bulbs where you can literally force a bulb to make you multiple other bulbs. I don't know if Gray know what I'm talking about. Where you like scoop out the center with a spoon and you kind of force it. There's a technique I learned in school. I can't remember the name of it, and I'm not going to Google it, even though my computer's in front of me. But just know somebody in the comments probably knows what I'm talking about. And if they say the name and y'all say it, because I can't see the comments, we in the money.
So yeah, I want to look into that because I've done the green onions before, but I've never tried to get them to bulk. So that's new to me too. So that might be an experiment we all have to embark on.
This was with red onions, to be clear. This was not with green onions. This was with red onions and yellow onions.
That's my favorite onion anyway. So sweet onion.
I like cooking with onion. I can't eat a raw onion at all.
What? I love a good raw onion. On a burger?
No, I can't have raw onions. Except salsa. If it's in a salsa, I can do raw onions with that. Like salsa, like onions on like my burger or in my taco or my pizza, no go. I'm not having it at all. It's ruined. Literally. I'm not eating
Okay.
it.
Now, Ella Era, I'm probably saying your name wrong. Sorry about that. She says that she does potatoes, garlic, and ginger sprouts in her counter all the time. She just needs to plant them. But one thing I want to mention is when you talk about the potatoes, I'm going to say be careful. Now, everything else, yes. With the potatoes, when they start to sprout in your cupboard, just make sure they haven't turned green. And the reason why is because they could actually end up becoming poisonous. Because potatoes are from the nightshade family, like your tomatoes, like your tobaccos, eggplants, and so forth. And when your potatoes start to turn green, they actually have a lot of they're very what is the term? Solanine. Yeah, and that solanine can actually become a toxin and actually end up hurting you. So just make sure those potatoes haven't turned green, and you should be good to go. If you got eyes on them and they formed, plant away.
I think if you're growing them, I don't think that the future potatoes that come from the plant are going to be toxic. I just think that even that particular potato would be toxic.
Thoughts, Derek?
I was saying something this soon, but thinking of it now with the future one, yeah, the future ones probably would be good. The current ones are, I don't think I've eaten a green potato, but times have been hard in the past.
You know how I remember what's about solanine? Solanine and cucurbitaceans. I took a class when I was in university 30 years ago on natural toxins in plants. And that was one of the things we learned. Solanine in the potato, cucurbitaceins in the cucumbers, and it was one of the ones. That's the only thing I learned from the whole class.
Wow. 30 years ago, and that Howard education is still doing good.
That was an undergrad.
That was an undergrad.
That was undergrad when he was at Hillman.
Hillman.
See,
looking for a different world. What we got?
Someone said, on YouTube. All right, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Check it out.
I did have raw onions one time. I was in Mexico, and I got a taco, and they cut up the raw onions so fine that I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna eat this thing. I'm just gonna go eat it like a goat, just shove it down my throat. And it actually didn't taste terrible because there was no texture to the onions. It was so fine. So I think it's a texture.
No, wait. You need to rewind because I've heard of your term goat eat, but that is a new term. I think you need to explain to Derek because he is looking like, wait, what you did? What for the onions?
Now, I skipped over goat eating because I'm like, what does this man eat? That's what I'm thinking. Like, this is why he's so thin, because he eats nothing. Like, he eats absolutely nothing.
But no, goat eating, you know how a goat can pretty much eat anything, right?
Even poison ivy.
Yes.
So I feel like there are times in life where something might be in front of you, and you just have to go eat it. You just have to mash it up, get it into your stomach, regardless of what the taste of it is. And I've also sort of extended that to be sort of an emotional thing as well, because sometimes in life, there may be situations that you hate, but you just got to go eat that emotion. You just have to get it down.
You better preach, Pastor.
The Church of Goat Eating. I like it.
You gotta go
The Church of Goat Eating.
Gotta go eat it. Yeah.
Wowzers.
Now, someone in the comment, our friend Gardening with Phil, asked about raw lima beans. Like, would you ever do a raw lima bean?
I didn't know people ate them.
I hadn't heard it either, but Gardening with Phil, he about to tell us. What is this garden?
Where does ricin come from? Does that come from?
Ricin comes from castor beans.
Castor beans.
Mhm.
So you get castor beans and you try to process it, the oils yourself. You have to be careful because I think ricin can be dangerous. In the same way like foxgloves, you have to worry about digitalis or digitoxin, something like that. Digit something. But
Someone said we're badly on Facebook. I didn't even know we were on Facebook.
Are we on?
Yeah, I didn't know we were on Facebook.
It's probably the YouTube because remember, Derek's audio isn't working, so I can't have y'all in my head. I'm wearing headphones, but for some reason my Bluetooth won't connect to anything.
Why is it say Facebook?
I don't know why they said Facebook because I don't think we are. It is on YouTube.
Are raw lima beans toxic? I'm not sure. There are a lot of foods that are toxic to you cook.
Lima beans, toxic.
But speaking of beans, while we're looking that up, I was going to mention that's another quick crop to grow too. It's an easy crop with a lot of returns. Are your beans, your like your bush beans, for instance, that don't necessarily need to pole up and everything. You get your bush beans in there, you can get a really quick return on them with very minimal effort, very minimal money. I mean, honestly, Andre, can't you just go to the grocery store, grab a bag of beans? You don't have to buy seeds. You can just buy $1 bag worth of beans, and boom, you have over 500 beans that you could plant, right?
Exactly. You don't have to buy bean seeds. Like beans in a bag that are dried, those are bean seeds. Like literally, you can just get that planted. I'd probably soak it maybe in a few hours, plant it in the ground, bam. You're gonna have beans. And you could have all kinds of beans growing, and whichever ones sort of outshine the other ones, those ones that produce the most. When I plant beans, I'm somewhat reckless with beans because bean seeds are cheap. So pretty much I'll plant a bunch of beans and I'll crowd them, I'll put different beans together with other beans, and whatever beans win, those are the beans I'm gonna get the most of.
Yeah. And beans are great for your soil too. And they're super great for your soil too, because they're nitrogen fixers, so they add nitrogen back into your soil.
Exactly. Most of the time, I plant beans usually as a cover crop, just to get my soil regenerated and make sure the soil is not empty during off season. But and beans are so good for you in general as well.
Now I do have to say this real quick. Now I do have to say this real quick about the beans. They do contain a cyanide precursor, right? It's called marin, which converts into cyanide, right, when it's chewed or damaged. However, from what I'm doing a quick Google on, in most cases it has like half the amount that's required to kill a human, and in most cases your cooking process would make that better. Andre, though, I got a question for you. How do you prepare your lima beans?
It's funny because I was going to follow up with another question too. Lima beans. I mean, I basically any bean, I basically cook like red beans. It's Louisiana in me. Everything's gonna be cooked like red beans. So I'm gonna have some bay leaf in there. I got my Tony Satcheries. I'm a pescatarian, so there's no ham hock or turkey or anything in there. But yeah, I basically cook everything like it's red beans because that is my favorite bean. Red kidney beans and lentils. Now lentils, I will do a little different, because I'm gonna make a lentil soup. But for the most part, every bean gonna be cooked like red beans. What about you?
Andre, how you be making your beans?
I don't really make beans. My wife does beans, but I like her lentils. She makes really good lentils. Whenever she makes beans, my wife is a pescatarian, so she doesn't eat meat. She only eats fish. Yeah. So she makes beans, and I love beans when she makes them. But when I make them, when she makes them, I'm definitely going to put some sweet and spicy on them. This is my sweet and spicy pepper sauce here. It's made with all natural ingredients. 8 different fruits and vegetables. It comes in hot, not so hot. And this month, up until Thanksgiving, it's buy 2, get 2 free. We've never done that before. We're celebrating our 1-year anniversary of the pepper sauce. Buy 2, get 2 free at AndreTheFarmer.com. You also get it on Amazon. You don't buy 2, get 2 free. So go to the website, buy 2, get 2 free. First time we've ever done it. Check it out. Check it out.
And definitely put it on your red beans and rice and your cornbread. You get you some under the pepper sauce. It's gonna hit. It's gonna stick to your bones.
Y'all for sunflowers. I've seen a guy who does chaos gardening. I can't remember his accountant name, but he'll do like bags of beans. He'll just throw them around and bags of bird seed because the bird seed has sunflower seeds, and then he'll use that for that. Have y'all tried that before?
No. I'm a little too organized for chaos gardening.
Yeah,
I'm saying, well, just even in general, using bird seed.
I've done it with peanuts.
Oh,
peanuts.
Yeah. I've done that before too. Yeah. You said you've done it with peanuts?
Yeah. With raw peanuts. Just let the squirrels plant them. And then you get peanut sprouts patched up. I'm gonna try it with the peas. I like that. Because having peas pop all throughout the garden is just really cool. I'm gonna get a bag, a big bag of like mixed peas, dried peas, grocery store, and I'm gonna just throw handfuls around each of my trees.
Go for it. I love it. Now, when I forgot my train of thought. Like as I was speaking, ooh, I'm getting old. I was about to say something, and then the words just escaped my brain. So carry on, gentlemen.
Come back to you. So I think, as we're talking about
Lentils are very good.
So, and I think as we're talking about gardening on a budget, and we're talking about using the Facebook marketing, using your resources, remember, like the Dollar Tree and the Family Dollar, they exist. And you can get stuff for cheap. Like Walmart, you go to the clearance section of them, or that little Target center place that people go to sometimes. You go to the clearance section of them, and you can sometimes be surprised the plant stuff you find for cheap. Fertilizers for cheap at the Dollar Tree, at the Family Dollar, at the Dollar General. Things I got like bottles of all the fertilizer I use for cheap.
Yeah.
Now let me just say one thing. Sucre, I don't know the rest of it. She'll support her brother, but she likes Louisiana hot sauce. I just want to make one thing clear. This is not hot sauce. This is a pepper sauce. Hot sauces are 3 ingredients. They're cayenne peppers, vinegar, and salt. This has 8 different fruits and vegetables in it. This is not a hot sauce. It's a pepper sauce. A little bit different. It's a lot. It's a complete difference. You can have this, and you can have your hot sauce. They're not competing with each other.
They're not. Use both of them. You're trying to make a civil war with the hot sauces and the pepper sauce. Don't do it.
All right. Hold on. There's a question here. I have a pin. I started how do you unpin that? I started a patio garden. Unpin. Oh man, is it gone now?
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Whoever asked the question about the patio garden. I started a patio garden, and it's got one over with white flies, spider mites, etc. I tried neem oil. It was too bad. I was overwhelmed and gave up.
So a patio garden where you have basically a bunch of pests. There's a couple of things you can do, right? So when you're growing on your patio, it may seem like a lot because like they're right in quick succession. Like a bigger garden, things are spread out, but when it's right on your patio, you walk out, things are buzzing in your face. It can really bug you. So here's what I would suggest you do. You get you a good old pump spray, right? When you're doing the neem oil, doing all that stuff, you go to your big box stores on Amazon. You get you a pump sprayer, and you do some little Dawn dish soap, plain dish soap, the cheapest one, the blue stuff. You put that in with your neem oil. That usually helps it to stick a little better onto your plants. That's part one. Do it either early in the day, or they usually say like in the afternoon. Sometimes I would do it before I go to work and then after, because I'm overzealous, right? But you do it late in the afternoon. That's part one, and I'd even mix it with a little peppermint recommend essential oil because I want to really like shoo them bugs away with those essential oils. That's step one. Step two, see if you can grow crops that will attract predators, right? The insects, like dragonflies. Dragonflies are apparently demons in the bug world. I didn't realize that until this year. Dragonflies be tearing stuff up.
Dragonflies and praying mantis too. They're like assassins in the garden.
Yes, do that. And then step three, like pests are, something you can try to prevent with a lot of different things. There's a lot of different pesticides, natural or organic on the Omni list and otherwise that you can try to get. But overall, as you go through it and you live through it, you can learn like, okay, this is what my patio suggests or tracks. I had a problem with aphids once, but once the birds came through and started nesting on my patio, I didn't have problems with aphids anymore. But then I had birds that were like, get away from here and flying at me because they're like I got nested up. So it was years of progression before I got to the place I am now. So just keep going.
Yeah. And also ladybugs are also another great predator too. They are voracious predators, especially with little small things on your plants. But insecticidal soap is an option.
Same with Castile soap.
Was that?
Same with Castile soap. Like most insects breathe out of their exoskeletons. So like a quick hack, we're not talking about hacks today, but like a quick hack I do to get rid of like gnats in my kitchen. I don't want to spray like a traditional pesticide. So I mix up some soapy water in a spray bottle and I just spray and knock them out of the air. They get stuck, they drown, they suffocate with sand, and then the gnats are gone.
Yeah. And now, if you're trying to keep the bugs out of your garden, but you also want to keep them off of you, another thing to use is Sonia's bug spray. This will keep the bugs off of you. Sonia's bug spray, I love it. It feels like lotion. It smells fantastic. Anytime I put my Sonia's bug spray on, my wife's like, what's that smell? Like, oh, don't worry, girl, it's me. Sonia's bug spray, it'll keep those bugs off of you.
You can go to soniasbugspray.com. You can also get on the TikTok shop. But this stuff, I'll tell you, it is. I just bought 3 bottles today. I bought 3 bottles today in the TikTok shop because I'm running out. I have it in Mexico. I have it here. And all my bottles are like down to the very bottom. So I definitely had to get some more. Oh, what type of soap? The question was what type of soap? Yeah, Castile soap.
Yeah, Castile soap. So like Dr. Bronner's, any of the cheap stuff, like either that or like great value, like the blue regular dish soap that looks like Dawn. Like you just get some of that, you have it in a pump sprayer. Even that is sometimes simple enough to like get rid of stuff and you don't have insecticidal soap.
And once you have a full-blown infestation like that, sometimes you need a hard reset. So sometimes you need to sort of either take everything out, toss the soil out, toss the plants out, get them as far away from there as possible, and do a hard reset, get rid of everything. Sometimes you can just give the plants a really hard prune, soak them in whatever you need to soak them in, and then sort of let they will bounce back and go back. But sometimes it's too far gone to just sort of dilly-dally and spray because those things are going to lay eggs, they're going to have larvae, they're going to sort of be residents of that general vicinity, and just sort of reusing everything and playing the same stuff, we're going to have the same problem next year.
Yeah, very good point. Yeah, sometimes a hard reset is necessary. But I want to address something. Someone was commenting on the fact of how we were promoting Sonia's bug spray. You know why? Because all of our sponsors that we've mentioned today, they're like friends of ours. And so, we're going to be the biggest cheerleader we possibly can for, our friends' business. We want to put them up on high. Yeah. So we're all about some Sonia's bug spray for sure.
And they're sponsors of the show. They're the ones that help support us because there are some costs involved in creating the show, and they help cover those costs. And we're not very minimal amounts, but they definitely help us, and we appreciate the help, and we want to help their businesses as well.
Exactly. You get to see and get all this free information. You're getting all this free information from us. Decades of experience of growing amongst all of us, right? Those people are helping us. So we shout them out.
Exactly. So, what are your plans for winter in terms of gardening? You guys, both of you guys. Like, you guys have anything you're planning to do particularly?
All right. So, I'm going to take it first because, I'm always with thoughts of grandeur. I'm that gardener, right? So in my front yard, you know, it's funny. My wife and I, we have this competition. She's all about the curb appeal, all about the front yard and the grass looking nice. I'm like, garden everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. So I just got 9 new raised beds from my friends over at Epic Gardening, and I'm about to create a whole new gardening zone layout in my front yard. Those videos will be coming out soon, so I'll have a new staging area where we can talk about gardening and everything. But I'm gonna go big with it. I'm doing fruits and berries, so that's what I'm gonna be working on this winter, is setting up those beds for the spring.
That's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be awesome. What's going on there?
Let's see. On my patio, I have garlic. I want to, because I have plans to branch it too. I want to grow 100 cloves, like 100 bulbs of garlic on my patio. And it's something where I know that won't be enough because I love garlic. I put so much garlic in everything. But I'm trying to basically plan it out where every space will be something in that family. So either wild garlic, I want to do elephant garlic, and just any garlic I can just get my hands on for cheap. I don't really want to, unless I just bought it in the store and it's like growing, I don't want to just buy seed garlic. So I'm going to do that. And I've been getting my patio reset because during the winter, as things are like dormant and cold, this is a good time to clean. And those of you who've been seeing me on Sundays do it, this is a good time to clean and get rid of stuff. So that way, like the wood roaches and everything, they can, you know, not jump out at me too much, except for the ones that did a couple of weeks ago when I dropped everything. Or, you know, black widows and everything can be like dormant or hiding, so I can like not worry about something actively jumping out at me. So that's pretty much my plan, and they're repainting patios, so we're gonna have to move everything off and the inside and then put it back eventually. So we'll see how that works.
So wait, with Derek with all this garlic, it just makes me think of the movie Sinner. So if the vampire came to your house, they couldn't come in.
If the vampires ever took a bite of me, all the garlic I got in my system in a given day, they would be like, oh, they would be yuck.
Well, you guys just remember, because I have garlic right now, elephant garlic, in the fridge outside there, that little bar fridge or whatever, and I have garlic inside there that I'm chilling, giving it chill hours so that I can plant it in about probably another 6 to 8 weeks. I'll probably be planting garlic, and my big thing is over the next month or so, I'm going to be harvesting a lot of my root crops. So I've got cassava, aka yucca, that needs to be harvested. I usually harvest it right around Thanksgiving. I've got yams, and I've got some malango, dasheen, as well in the ground that needs to harvest. So that's going to be, I'm going to be doing this for months, and then I'm going to be prepping, because this spring I will be moving a lot of trees to a new property. That's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna be digging up a bunch of mango trees and stuff like that. Some of them are relatively decent size, so it's gonna be an adventure. We're gonna be doing some interesting stuff this spring. So prepping for that.
Nice. I like that you said that about the garlic, though. That hard neck variety that you have, the elephant garlic. You're getting those cold stratification hours going on, because garlic has to have that. And being out in Florida, where it doesn't get cold enough, you stick it in the fridge, you can get that the cold hours you need so that you can plant those bulbs.
Exactly, because most places plant garlic in the fall, and it goes through winter, and it gets cold underground. But here it doesn't get cold underground, and if you plant it without doing that here, you'll get it to grow up, but it won't ball at the bottom. It'll just be your one little egg to have green onions, which is it's interesting and it's cool to have green onions, but
garlic chops. You mean garlic chops?
Because I've never grown elephant garlic, and I do have a cold, guys. Any secret cold remedies, let me know. It's actually getting better. I'm on the tail end. Today's the best day so far, but it's starting to annoy this cough and congestion. Just annoying.
I'll give you my garlic tea recipe, and he'll tell you, but I'm not going to tell everybody. But I'll give it to you.
What? Oh, you what?
A garlic tea recipe.
Okay, that sounds delicious.
You use your elephant garlic. Don't do me like that. I make good stuff. Don't do that. Ooh, I don't eat onions raw. I don't eat watermelon. I don't eat nothing. And you say that sounds delicious.
Listen. It's not that I don't eat watermelon. It's just that watermelon's kind of neutral. Yeah, you got to chill it before you plant. If you live in a warm climate, you have to chill it before you plant it. You want to give it about, I'd say probably like 10 to 12 weeks in a fridge before you plant it.
Yeah, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to simulate winter for it.
Some dasheen and some callaloo. Well, it's funny because Trinidadians call dasheen leaf callaloo. Most of the Caribbean calls amaranth callaloo. But
now, somebody also said honey. I have to ask you guys. Okay, so we're talking about weird things that we don't eat, right? So I'm gonna share some with y'all. I don't like the taste of honey. I keep trying honey.
No. Derek, you gotta take back everything you ever said about me because that's ridiculous.
I don't like honey.
Actually, I can keep both of them because that is terrible.
No. Honey? How do you not like honey?
It's too thick and viscous. It has a specific taste. There's an aftertaste. All right. As a younger man, there was this specific album from the Ohio Players. And the name of the album was called Honey. And I love that album. But when I became an adult, I'm like, ugh, honey, that's too much. I don't like the taste of honey. I tried putting it in my teas. I'm like, no on the honey.
You tried all the flowers and everything. You're like, no, okay.
Local honey, fresh organic honey, garlic infused honey. Like, we messed up a good batch of garlic to put it with this honey.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Hold on. Someone gave me the recipe. They said there's this ginger, garlic, red onion, lemon, cayenne pepper, honey. The whiz up in the Nama juicer and drink it, knocks out a cold. You know, the funny thing is everyone's got a remedy that knocks out a cold quick, and yet people still have colds. Like, you know, you would think that once somebody had the ultimate recipe, because I've had various combinations of that kind of thing. But you think that once someone had the recipe, that it would be over. It'd be over. It'd be like, all right, we found it. You know, we're done. We're done with colds. But okay. Oh yeah. Guava leaf, sugar, dish, lemongrass, soursop. I have in this right now. I've got moringa and lemongrass and ginger. I've done soursop leaves. I've done cacao leaves. I've had every kind of bush tea you can think of over the last week. But never heard of a person not like honey. That's insane. That's insane. I feel like we need to call Homeland Security or something. Because they're gonna come back to us in the future and be like, well, why didn't you say anything? We'll be like,
no honey. But you know, somebody asked me about agave. I do like agave. Agave's great, but just honey, man.
Agave's just like honey. But
tastes better.
Guys, we're over time. We gotta go. Guys, we could do this all day, but thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. It's the replay on my Instagram, on all of our Instagrams, and catch the YouTube on all of our YouTubes as well. All right, guys? We're out. We'll be back next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
All right, take care, guys.
You guys.